That's set for Game 2 between UMass Boston and Salem State after the Beacons took Game 1 12-4 in 5 innings. Running through the lineup shortly, but first we're going to get to know a little bit more about another Beacon. Cassidy Gata spent some time with us in our Get to Know a Beacon segment.
Being the first person in my family to go to college is like a major accomplishment because none of my older family members have like been through that experience. So like coming in to college, being the first person in my family too, it's like a whole new experience. I don't have any older siblings or like anyone who's been to college, so it was really difficult for me, but I went to like my teachers and like guidance counselors, and my dad tried to help me the best I could. And it was a longer process than it probably should have been, but overall it became a success. I realized I wanted to play collegiate softball at a very young age. I started playing when I was 6 years old, so probably when I was around like 9 or 10. I like grew up watching girls on TV and stuff, and it really inspired me, and I just wanted to be like them one day. I was really late to committing to UMass Boston. I was conflicted between two other schools, but I wanted to be closer to home, and I loved our coach, and all the girls on the team, so I decided that this would probably be the best fit for me. It's amazing. I mean, I have such a great support system, and having my dad like as my best friend, it's amazing because he's always there for me. He gives me the best advice he can, and like my cousins and stuff, like me being the older role model and stuff, it's just a great feeling.
Ready to rumble for game number 2. UMass Boston sends out freshman Haley Catania out of Amesbury, Massachusetts, Amesbury High School. This is her 13th start, her 15th game overall. She is 5-5. Excuse me. Yep, 5-5 with a 3.71 ERA. 77 and a third innings pitched, 96 hits, 26 walks, 33 strikeouts. Always helps when you can't read your own handwriting in between games 1 and game 2. Lineup she'll face for Salem State looks like this. Luciana Mastro Mateo is designated player leading off. Gracie Hogan pitches, bats second. Dominique Del Vecchio, the first baseman, hits third. Casey Nolan in left field bats fourth. Chloe Manusis in the 5 spot plays second. Michaela Porcaro, the third baseman, bats sixth. Gianna Berkowitz, right fielder, bats seventh. Courtney Kilgore, the center fielder, in the 8th spot. And Sydney Chason bats ninth. She'll be the shortstop in game 2 with Hogan in the circle. For the Beacons today, Gigi Braga leads off, plays short. Giovanna Bonilla, center fielder, bats second. Roxy Vento, the catcher, bats third. It's Ari Bellata back on the cleanup spot, playing third base. Kelly Danahy hits fifth, plays second. Jayla Blackman will be the designated player after blasting one off the wall in a pinch hit roll last game. Tori DiCenso is the first baseman. She's batting seventh. Drew Washington plays left field, bats eighth. And Taylor Paulino in right field, bats ninth. Luciana Mastro Mateo, the leadoff batter. First pitch from Catania, skips down for a ball. Catania finished off the second game of the doubleheader against Keene State, picking up the save. Pitching the final inning and 2/3. Pitch is low for a ball. Beacons won 12-4 over Salem State, but if possible, the Vikings were able to take a little bit of momentum out of the end of that game. They scored 3 in the bottom of inning number 5, nearly extending the game. There's a strike from Catania. Rare college softball doubleheader where you have two pitchers who have pitched in the doubleheader, both from Amesbury High School. Ground ball to Danahy, and Mastro Mateo is retired 4-3. We saw Michaela Porcaro finish off the game in the circle for Salem State. She was high school teammates with Haley Catania at Amesbury High. Gracie Hogan, who will pitch game 2, bats next. First-year player from Northbridge, Massachusetts. Hogan fouls it back for a strike. Hogan entered today hitting at .317 on the year with 11 runs batted in. Off speed, cut on and miss. Good pitch from Catania. Beacons looking to win a 5th consecutive game, and in the process hand Salem State a 10th straight loss. Swing and a miss. Catania has her first strikeout. Salem State has fallen to 11-20 on the year with that game 1 loss. The Beacons are now 18-12. Now, she didn't need the defense there, but the defense behind Haley Catania. Roxy Vento, the catcher. DiCenso at first. Danahy at second. Braga at short. And Bellotta at third. Washington in left. It's Bonilla in center and Paulina in right. There is Ari Bellotta, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the first for the Beacons. We go to the bottom of the first, and for the first time today, we'll see freshman pitcher Gracie Hogan in the circle. 15 appearances, 12 starts for Hogan. She's 3-8 with a 5.13 ERA. She's pitched 45 innings, giving up 88 hits, walked 10, struck out 8, so definitely pitches to contact. For the Beacons, the starting lineup, Gigi Braga at short, Giovanna Bonilla in center, Roxy Vento, the catcher. That's Ari Bellotta at third, Kelly Danahy at second, Jayla Blackman is the DP. Tori DiCenso plays first base, Drew Washington left field, and Taylor Polina rounds out the batting order playing right. Braga in game 1 drew 2 walks and singled in her 3 plate appearances. She scored 2 runs. "1-0 is low, 2-0. Umpires have flip-flopped, so Paula Cass is behind home plate, and Sherman Routing has moved to the base paths. There's a called strike, 2-1. Book on Hogan. She should throw a lot of strikes. Only 10 walks in 45 innings. But she's down in the count 3-1 to start the game. "3-1, missed high." So it's the 11th walk of the season for Gracie Hogan. It starts the game. 3rd walk drawn today by Gigi Braga, who is a phenomenal leadoff batter. With her 3 walks today, Braga has now walked 17 times this year for an on-base percentage well above 400. Giovanna Bonilla had a single and a run in game 1. Braga running, and she's successfully stolen a base for the 2nd time today. That is Gigi Braga's 14th steal this year. Beacons trying to pick up where they left off in game 1, scoring 12 runs in just 4 plate appearances for UMass Boston. Huge lead for Braga. She'll go back after the called strike. On the ground, slow to third. This should do it for Bonilla. Porcaro's throw, not in time. Giovanna Bonilla digs it out. It's an infield single. All you got to do when you have her wheels is slap it down on the ground, and the odds are you'll be safe. Roxy Vento is next, the catcher. 2 for 3 in game 1 of today's doubleheader. Looking to bunt. She takes back for a strike, and Bonilla is into second. 2 stolen bases already for the Beacons in this inning. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. With 2 hits, Vento moved to just 10 out of the all-time record at UMass Boston. There's a lot of games left to etch herself atop the record book in another category. 1-1 pitch. Vento lays off. Hogan's balls have that downward motion at the end as they're running out of steam, so you have to be patient. They dip away. It's almost like a sinker. 2-1 is high. 3-1 to Vento with Ari Bellata waiting on deck. Walk and a single to start the game. Vento fouls it off. 3-2. Full count pitch. Vento watches ball 4. So again, Gracie Hogan had only walked 10 batters all year in 45 innings. She's walked 2 of the first 3 she's faced. Bases loaded for the Vikings after scoring 12 in Game 1.
The third baseman, number 13, Ari Bellata.
Good opportunity here for Ari Bellata, who doubled home a couple runs in Game 1. She takes first pitch strike. Bellata up to 28 hits this season in 60 at-bats. Close to 500. On the ground, hard at short. Throw coming home from Chason. It gets past the catcher, Cordera. Now here comes Bellata, and they've both scored. So Braga and Bonilla score. 2-0 Beacons. Vento to third. Bellata to second. That'll go down as a fielder's choice and an error. Question is it an E6 or an E2? And it'll be an E6, error on the throw from Chason. Looks like the Beacons will already make a change. This was Kelly Danahy's spot in the order, but with 2 runs already home, Beacons will go to the bench. Pinch hitting in Danahy's spot.
Number 1,
Gigi Diuti bats down to bunt, drops it down. Perfect bunt. Hogan's throw is wide of first. Vento scores. Bellata stopped. Now she comes, puts the brakes on. She's in between. Diuti goes home, and Bellata scores. Wow. So Roxy Vento and Ari Bellata come home. It's 4-0. See how that's scored. So an E1 for Diuti to reach. She will get the RBI, though, because Vento would have scored regardless. And that error also leads to the second run coming home. Diuti on to second base. So productive performance for Diuti. 4-0, still nobody out. And Jayla Blackman bats. Blackman now 3 for 7 on the season. Doubled off the wall to drive home 2 in a pinch hit appearance last game. So she's now had 7 at-bats, but 5 RBIs. That's making the most of her opportunities. It's a strike up at the letters. 1-1 to Blackman. So a walk, a single, a walk, a fielder's choice, and an error. Nobody out yet for the Beacons. 4 already home. Bounded foul. 2 errors already for Salem State in the inning. And it's the nightmare start the Vikings were looking to avoid. Beacons took game 1, 12-4. Blackman in the air to center. Should be playable for Kilgore. Still coming in. Puts it away. So there's out number 1 in the bottom of the first. 4 runs already home, and Tori DiCenso will bat. DiCenso was on base all 3 times in Game 1, earning herself the Game 2 start. She doubled, singled, and walked, scored a run, and drove in a run. Ball 1 to DiCenso. Sophomore out of Lynn, in the air, deep left field. Nolan going back, still moving. That ball bangs off the wall and stays in play. DiUdi comes home. DiCenso to third. The left fielder is down. And DiCenso will just come on home.
A home run for UMass Boston's Tori DiCenso. For DiCenso, that is home run number 1 of the season.
It's a home run for Tori DiCenso. Her first of the year. That actually made it over the wall. We weren't sure. We thought maybe that had stayed in the wall, but it's being dug out from the other side of the fence. Left fielder ran into the fence. Nolan trying to bring it back in. Tori DiCenso's first home run of the season puts the Beacons ahead 6-0 in the first. So it's a 6-0 lead for the Beacons on DiCenso's homer. The left fielder, Nolan, appears to be okay, so she'll stay in the game out there after trying to track that ball down and hitting the fence. Six runs with only 1 out for the Beacons in the first, after scoring 4 in the first in Game 1 today. So to the 8-hole in Drew Washington. First at bat today for Washington, who was a defensive replacement at the end of Game 1. This is her 4th start of the year. She's 1 for 11 on the season. Washington's a sophomore out of Bordentown, New Jersey. Fouls it off. Rise ball is high. Gracie Hogan trying to get through this first inning. Washington is down swinging. Strikeout number 9 on the season for Gracie Hogan, her first today. Beacons send up the 9-hole hitter Taylor Paulina, who drove in 2 runs with a base hit in a 1-for-3 Game 1.
The right fielder, number 15, Taylor Paulina.
Hogan delivers. Strike on the outside corner. Paulina, one of 3 Beacon seniors. So get a chance to play as close to home as she does all year when they head to Rhode Island College tomorrow. On the ground at short. Chason, a throw low and dug out. Well done by Del Vecchio to end the inning. For the 3rd time in the doubleheader, the Beacons send 9 to the plate. We go to the second, 6-0. We go to the second, 6-0 UMass Boston after 6 runs in the bottom of the first, capped by a 2-run home run from Tori DiCenso. Lots of run support for Haley Catania as the Beacons look to sweep the doubleheader, win 5 in a row, and go to 19-12 on the season. Salem State went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first, so cleanup batter Casey Nolan leads off against Catania. In that first inning, Catania got 2 groundouts and a strikeout. First pitch, strike from Catania, bringing it in with some heat. Oh, 1, fisted foul, 0-2. Nolan entering today, hitting at .325 on the year. Again, this is a Salem State team that can hit. They hit .307 as a team coming in today. Fouled back to the screen again. Another 0-2. In the air, deep center field. That's crushed. Bonilla going back, and she runs it down once more. She is so rangy in center and has been very busy today. That was well struck by Nolan, but it's allowed out. Chloe Manusos is next. Manusos, a .327 hitter with 3 home runs this year. Lays off first pitch, ball. Hit hard at third and gloved. Ari Bellata with the quick reflexes, 2 down. Go ball's been hit well in this inning, but defense by Catania on point. Now you get a matchup of 2 high school teammates. Both graduated last year from Amesbury High School, Catania and Michaela Porcaro. Porcaro hits it hard center field, tailing away from Bonilla, who dives and can't make the play. Porcaro puts it into the gap. It's a 2-out double. Boy, Bonilla almost made another phenomenal play out there.
Right fielder number 12, Gianna Berkowitz.
Discussion ongoing between our home plate umpire in Game 2, Paul Lacasse, and the head coach, Alex Campione. And he's now sending her out to talk to Porcaro. Maybe it was a wristband or a watch. Had to come off. Runner on second, 2 down, top 2. UMass Boston leading 6-0. Salem State trying to find a run. Gianna Berkowitz bats in the 7-hole. Takes ball 1 from Catania. Fastball splits the plate in half. Good spot. It's a strike. Catania's got some get up and go on her fastball today. It's moving. Rise ball, swing and a miss. Up the ladder on Berkowitz, 1-2. One, 2. Fouled off. Stays at 1-2. Haley Catania, windmill, pitch, got her swinging. Another rise ball, and we're through 1.5, 6-0 UMass Boston. To the bottom of the second we go. UMass Boston ahead 6-0 in Game 2 after an 8-run rule 12-4 win over Salem State in Game 1. Won that game in 4.5. Trying to do the same here, up 6-0. Gigi Braga leads off the second in both Game 1 and Game 2. The Beacons sent 9 to the plate in the first inning. They scored 4 in the first in Game 1, 6 in the first in Game 2. Braga ahead in the count, 2-0. Today, Gigi has singled once, walked 3 times, and scored 3 runs. Has not yet been out today. Gracie Hogan deals a strike, 2-1. Now 2-2. Outside 3-1. Gigi's been patient all day long. Picking up walks 15, 16, and 17 on the season. And there is her 18th of the year. Her team leading 18th walk and 4th today. See if she's stealing bases again. She's stolen 2 today. Gracie Hogan had only walked 10 batters in 45 innings. She has walked 3 in 1+ today. Giovanna Bonilla next to bat, singled back in inning 1 on a ground ball to third. Came home to score. Beacon order so well built. You got the speed at the top with Braga and Bonilla, power in the middle, starting with Vento, and some good hitters at the bottom as well. That'll move the base runner ahead. Braga takes second on the ground out, 4-3 to Manusos. Bonilla's down, 1 away. Roxy Vento walked and scored in the first. She's been busy today. A couple of hits in Game 1. That's a called strike. Vento, the senior out of Arlington. Awaits no one. Hits it on the ground, right side. First baseman Del Vecchio touches the bag for the second out. Chance for Gracie Hogan to get through this inning relatively quickly if she can get Ari Bellata. With 2 outs, Bellata bats, reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the first. Bellata takes high for ball 1. Ari out of Leominster, Massachusetts. School that has a great high school sports program. On the ground, foul left of third. Came in on the hands of it, and Ari Bellata is shaking her hands off after the foul ball. Barrels this up, hooking, foul. And it is out of play, about 7 or 8 feet left of the line. One ball, 2 strike pitch coming to Bellata. Goes down to get it, serves it to right. Long run for the right fielder, and Brurwitz can't get there. It's a base hit for Bellata. Good 2-strike hitting. Scores Gigi Braga. That's Gigi's 4th run today. Beacons lead 7-0.
The second baseman, number 1, Gigi Diuti.
Gigi Diuti, who came in as a replacement in the bottom of the first for Kelly Danahy, takes a called strike. Diuti bunted, reached on an error, scored. Pitch inside for a ball, throw down, and Bellata is safe with the steal. The chant from the Beacon dugout right now is little Gigi. Not that big Gigi is all that much taller than her. I guess a couple of years older. Diuti takes low. Diuti looking for her first hit. She is 0 for 2, playing in 9 games this year. Takes the rise ball high. Three ball, 1 strike count. to Diuti. And that's low, ball 4. So Diuti walks. She's been productive today. She's on first, Bellotta on second, already 7-0 UMass Boston, and Jayla Blackman will bat. Blackman flew out to center back in the first. Remember, pinch hitting in game 1. She hit it off the wall in left center. Blackman takes down low for a ball. Blackman played at Cambridge Ringe in Latin just across the river. Lays off the rise ball upstairs. 2-0. Blackman takes below the knees. So it's 3-0 to Blackman. Hogan in danger of issuing her 4th walk today. There's strike knee high, 3-1. Already 7-0 Beacons looking to sweep the doubleheader. They won game 1, 12-4. That hits Blackman right off the inside of the leg. Bases loaded for the Beacons. The accuracy, which generally is there for Hogan, just hasn't been today. Umpires coming together. Sherman Rodding, the base umpire, and Paul Lacoste, the home plate umpire.
The first baseman, number 21, Tori DiCenso.
Tori DiCenso bats. 2-run homer in her first at bat. Hammers this at third straight to Porcaro, makes the hot shot snag. Beacons get 1, leave them loaded. We head to inning 3, 7-0 UMass Boston. All right, we move to the top of the third, 7-0 UMass Boston. Defensive change for the Beacons. Drew Washington will move to right field. Taylor Paulina out of the game, and in comes Sarah Harlinski, who will go to left. 7-0 Beacons. We play the top of the third, game 2 of a doubleheader. UMass Boston won game 1 at 12-4 over Salem State.
Defensive changes for UMass Boston. Now into the game, playing left field, number 19, Sarah Harlinski, and moving to right field, number 10, Drew Washington.
Haley Catania's allowed just 1 base runner through the first 2 innings, a double with 2 outs in the second by Michaela Picaro. 8-hole hitter Courtney Kilgore leads off, hitting 156 on the year. First pitch to Kilgore, fastball at the knees, strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. Inside corner, strike, 0-2. The 0-2 delivery is fouled back off the screen, stays 0-2. Freshman Haley Catania's pitch. Hit on the ground hard at first. DiCenso snags it. Web gem from Tori DiCenso over at first, one down. Beacon defense has been great behind Catania today, and she keeps rewarding them by throwing strikes. Sydney Chason is next. 9-hole hitter in both games. She's the DP in game 1, the shortstop in game 2. Ball 1 is high. Chason hitting at .352 on the season with 11 runs batted in. Kind of serves as a second leadoff in that 9 spot and does a nice job serving that to left. It's a base hit for Chason past the outstretched arms of Gigi Braga. Second hit in game 2 for Salem State. That'll turn the lineup over to Luciana Mastro-Mateo. Mastro-Mateo out of Peabody, Massachusetts. Right at the end of Route 1. Swing and a miss for Mastro-Mateo. Grounded out to second back in the first. Second base originally occupied by Danahy. Now it's Diuti playing second for the Beacons. 1-1. Here's a 1-1 from Catania. In the air to second. Diuti. 2 down. With 2 away, it's up to the pitcher Gracie Hogan, who struck out swinging back in the first. Fastball swung on and missed. Vento snaps it back to first late.
The pitcher, number 13, Gracie Hogan.
Salem State out of the Mazcac. Lost 9 in a row. If they're swept here today, that'll be 5 straight doubleheader sweeps. Coming in the 8-game losing streak, they'd been outscored 61-20. So add the 12-4 from game 1. It's now 73-24 over a 9-game losing streak. Catania's pitch. Fisted foul. No ball, 2 strike count to 2-hole hitter Gracie Hogan. Top 3, Salem State down 7-0. On the ground to Catania, and she breezes through another inning. She's dealing. We're through 2.5. Beacons lead 7-0. All right, we're sorting out some defensive changes here. It looks like no matter what, and when they get it sorted out, Dominique Del Vecchio pitched in game 1, come back in to pitch game 2 after Gracie Hogan pitched 2 innings, gave up the 7 runs. Beacons hit her well. She also walked 5. So Del Vecchio in. It also looks like Luciana Mastro Mateo has moved from DP over to first base. So Mastro Mateo over at first. And we'll get everything else sorted out here.
Yep. And those are the only 2 changes? Thank you.
Eileen, move the camera. You're good.
Don't worry
You're good.
about it. She's the shortstop, and that means the shortstop is the DP.
All right, the first pitch from Del Vecchio is hammered. Drew Washington crushes it in for a base hit. Washington's first hit today. One more change. Chason has become the DP just like last game at short, and Gracie Hogan has gone to shortstop. So Cardena behind the plate, Del Vecchio pitching, Mastro Mateo at first, second base, Manusos, Hogan at short, Porcaro at third, Nolan in left, Kilgore in center, Berkowitz in right. Hope you're taking notes at home and you've got that. First at bat today for Sarah Harlinski, who entered last game as a defensive replacement. Harlinski is 8 for 38 this season. And she watches that one go low. Harlinski, a freshman out of Sturbridge, Massachusetts, and Tantasqua Regional High School. Watches that go low. Del Vecchio in game 1 was responsible for 9 of the 12 runs the Beacons scored. That's called strike. Counts full. Washington on first. Harlinski at the dish, nobody out in the third. The Beacons already ahead 7-0. On the ground, slow to the mound. Del Vecchio flips to first in time for the out. Washington takes second. Be another change for the Beacons. I see Pena will take over for Gigi Braga. Pena also plays some short for the Beacons, so she'll likely stay in the game. Looking for her first collegiate hit. She is 0 for her first 8. She has walked 3 times and struck out 5.
Pinch hitting for the Beacons, number 26, Hasey Pena.
So Hasey Pena looking for her first collegiate hit. Awaits Del Vecchio. Pena hammers this to right center, and she has her first career hit. It's into the gap. Pena to second with a double. Washington scores. Pena still trucking. She's into third. It's an RBI triple for Hasey Pena. Her first collegiate hit.
The center fielder, number 5, Giovanna Bonilla.
So it's 8-0 Beacons, bottom 3, and Giovanna Bonilla bats next. Del Vecchio misses low. Just 1 out in the inning. Again, Beacons need to get through 4.5, up by 8 or more to sweep game 2, sweep the doubleheader, and win them both in 4.5. Bonilla takes a strike. If the Beacons learned anything from game 1, it's that those insurance runs were important. They were up 12-1 heading to the top of the 5th. Allowed 3 and hung on there. Bonilla flares it left field, down for a single. Pena scores. Giovanna Bonilla will head to second after an errant throw and keep on moving to third. Bonilla stands there. It's a single, an RBI, and an error on the left fielder to allow Bonilla to take third. More changes coming for the Beacons. Cassidy Gaeta will step in for Roxy Vento. So 9-0 Beacons. Gaeta bats for Vento, who walked and grounded out in game 2. Gaeta hitting at 192 on the year, 10 for 52 with a home run and 9 runs batted in. Sophomore out of North Reading, Massachusetts, had a very good freshman year. In her freshman season, big power threat, regular player at first, just trying to break out of that sophomore slump.
Pinch hitting for the Beacons, number 22, Cassidy Gaeta.
That's strike on the inside corner. First at bat today for Gaeta. We got to learn a little bit more about her in our Beacon Spotlight before the game today. Up and in for a ball.
We got ice, Cass. We got ice.
Still only one out in the inning. Gaeta off the fist. That'll make it through. An RBI single. Gaeta's 10th RBI of the year. Bonilla scores. 10-0 Beaks. And it looks like we'll have another change, or at least a meeting on the mound. It's just going to be a conversation between Del Vecchio and Campione, the first-year head coach. A couple of bad breaks for Del Vecchio, a fister and a flare. And she'll keep on rolling. Beacons took game 1, 12-4. The back-to-back Little East Conference Tournament champions lead 10-0 here in the bottom of the third.
The third baseman, number 13, Ari Bellata.
Ari Bellata's next. Swings through that high fastball from Del Vecchio. RBI single last at bat for Bellata. Also reached on a fielder's choice. In the air, left field and deep. That's got carry on it. Nolan going back. She watches it bang off the wall. Gaeta to third. She'll stop there. Bellata doubles. The Beacons keep on churning. 4 straight hits and 5 in the inning for UMass Boston. Third plate appearance for Gigi Diuti, who reached on an error and scored in the first, walked in the second. Diuti looking for her first collegiate hit. Just saw Casey Pena pick up her first college hit. Diuti watches it go high, 2-0. Fouled back to the screen, 2-1. Beacons will go down to Providence, play Rhode Island College tomorrow, 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. on the road. And then it's a busy week next week for UMass Boston. Castleton and Southern Maine, followed by a non-conference game against Babson. Chopper foul. So Tuesday, Thursday action for the Beacons. And Babson wrapping up the regular season before UMass Boston will start the Little East Tournament on May 2nd. Del Vecchio high. Lady walked in her last at bat. Pitch coming to her is low, and that's ball 4. Here comes Gata. She scores on the wild pitch. Cassidy Gata makes it 11-0. Runners still moving. Diuti goes down to second. So Bellotta to third, Diuti to second after the walk. $11-0 UMass Boston. 4 runs in this inning, 6 in the first, 1 in the second. Blackman has flown out and been hit by a pitch in game 2. She takes high from Del Vecchio. Back-to-back balls. Cue ball, though, strike pitch. Is a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Blackman hammered one off the wall in game 1. We're going to do the same here. Gets into it, high and deep to center. That ball is carrying. It has legs on it, and it bangs off the wall again. Second ball off the wall for Blackman. Bellotta scores. RBI double, 12-0. 6 straight of reach for the Beacons. 6 hits and a walk in this inning.
The first baseman, number 21, Tori DiCenso.
Tori DiCenso has homered and lined out a rocket shot in her last at bat to third. Crushes this again. Tori DiCenso has left the yard for the second time today.
Second home run of the day and second home run of the season for number 21, Tori DiCenso.
Boy, that was a moonshot from DiCenso. She is hammering the ball today. 4 hits, 3 for extra bases. Two home runs. This one, the 3-run dinger.
What are we at now for score?
+3, so it should be 14, right?
I was at 12, so
15-0 Beacons. And Del Vecchio just keep on churning, trying to eat up these innings and get Salem State through it. Beacons have sent 9 to the plate this inning. 8 have scored. Washington, a hammer shot to Piccaro at third. High throw, and the play is made. Mastro Mateo comes down on the bag. Washington retired 5-3. Again, 10 have now hit for the Beacons in the inning. They lead 15-0.
The left fielder, number 19, Sarah Harlinsky.
Sarah Harlinsky grounded out to the mound back in the third. Wants to avoid making 2 of the 3 outs in the inning. Harlinsky takes high. Skips in. 2-ball, no strike count. How about the day for Tori DiCenso? 2 home runs in game 2 with 5 RBIs. In game 1, she had a double, a single, a walk, scored a run, and had an RBI. So 6 RBIs overall today, 3 runs scored, 4 hits. Harlinsky flares it. That is down for a base hit. A single from Sarah Harlinsky. The Beacons have put 9 on base this inning. The 7th hit of the inning for UMass Boston. And Michaela Piccaro will come back into pitch. She finished off last game as well. So pitching change, Piccaro in. After Del Vecchio pitches 2/3 of an inning, gives up 7 hits, a walk, a hits batsman, She's allowed 8 runs in the inning. They are all earned. 15-0 Beacons. So Picaro to the mound. Hogan moves over to third. The shortstop is chasing once again. She goes from DP to shortstop. I think Mastro Mateo will come back to be DP. And Del Vecchio will return to first. Yep, Del Vecchio makes her way over to first base now. So back to basically the lineup we started with, except for Hogan at third, Picaro in the circle. Those two flip-flopped. Hasey Pena will bat for the second time. Now she's got the monkey off her back. Her first collegiate hit, a run-scoring triple back in the third. Take a look at the Little East Conference scoreboard. Plymouth State took Game 1 over Rhode Island College 2-1. They lead Game 2 4-0. And rain postponed Southern Maine and the University of New England. That would have been an all-Maine battle. Biddeford versus Gorham. And in Connecticut, Game 1 has Trinity up 5-3 over Eastern Connecticut State. That game in the 5th inning. All right, so that confirms what we thought for the changes. And ready to go with Porcaro, who made her pitching debut on the season and her college pitching debut back in Game 1. So how about this? In this game now, the two pitchers on both sides were both seniors at Amesbury High School last year. High school teammates. Now they're both pitching in this game.
The shortstop, number 26, Hasey Pena.
Pena tripled in her last at-bat earlier this inning. Takes a rise ball high for ball 1. Hasey Pena from the Dominican Republic went to high school in Providence, Rhode Island at Providence Career and Technical Academy. Runner going. Pena takes a ball. And it looks like runner moved early. So Harlinski took up early, and that ends the inning. So it puts it to bed at the end of the third. We go to the fourth. Beacons ahead, 15-0. All right, changes galore for UMass Boston. We'll bring him to you now. All right, let's start in order from down the order. In the 2 spot, Giovanna Bonilla is out. Brittany Perquette comes into the game. She'll go to left field, and Sarah Harlinski will move from left to center. In the 3 spot, Ali Diuti enters the game at catcher, taking the place of Cassidy Gaeta and Roxy Vento. In the 4 spot,
Number 7, Dominique Del Vecchio.
Kaylee Ruggiero is now in at third base in that 4 spot. The DP was Jayla Blackman. She now plays first base. Tori DiCenso has become the DP. So those are the changes. Haley Catania still on the mound. Beacons need 6 more outs to end this game, leading 15-0. Dominique Del Vecchio lead off the inning. As the book is now set. Del Vecchio grounded out back in the first. And Catania delivers a strike. Got to give the Salem State dugout credit. They've had a lot of energy today, even when the game have been slanted pretty dramatically against them. Grounder foul, 0-2 to Del Vecchio. Oh, 2 to Del Vecchio on the ground at third past Ruggiero. It's a base hit. Dominique Del Vecchio singles. Third hit of the game for Salem State, down 15-zip. One down, Casey Nolan will bat. She flew out to center back in the second. Deep center field, it was run down by Bellotta. Catania fires in a strike. For the Beacons, 6 in the first, 1 in the second, 8 in the third. Off the fist, popped, foul, and out of play. It's no ball, 2 strike count. Here's the pitch. Popped up, foul territory. Blackman giving it a look, so is Diuti, and it gets down off the dugout and out of play. Pitch from Catania. Rise ball fouled off. Here comes. In the air, right field slicing, and foul. Count remains 0-2. Nolan's fought off a couple of 2-strike pitches. And she saunters off another one. On the ground, hard at Pena. Goes to second for the lead runner. Hasey Pena fields that well, a fielder's choice. Del Vecchio retired, Nolan reaches.
The second baseman, number 5, Chloe Manusas.
Chloe Manusas spats next. She lined out to third back in the second inning. Rise ball, Catania got her swinging, strike 1. This skitters into the dirt, 1-1. In the air, very shallow center. Pena going out. In comes Harlinski, 2 down. She'll snap it back to first. And nearly got Nolan.
Number 4, Michaela Porcaro.
So for the second time today, these two high school teammates go head-to-head. Porcaro doubled into left center in the first at-bat. Up and in, gets away from Diode, and down to second. On the wild pitch goes Nolan. One ball, no strike to Porcaro. That's a strike. Catania's allowed just 3 hits over 3 2/3. Down in the count here, 2-1. Big swing. Porcaro comes up empty, 2-2. Haley Catania looking to make it through 4 innings unscathed. Need just 3 more outs to wrap this one up. This is hammered again. Same spot as the last one. Harlinski won't get there. Salem State on the board. Porcaro has her second double to the same spot. Oh, she's hitting the heck out of the ball today. 15-1 with 2 down. Well, Beacons may have the upper end of the scoreboard, but Porcaro is going to have something fun to hold over her high school teammate the next time they get together. 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles to the gap. Gianna Berkowitz on the ground to second. Diuti, easy glove and field. That's it for the inning. Go to the bottom of the 4th, 15-1, UMass Boston. We go to the bottom of the 4th. UMass Boston ahead 15-1, needing just 3 more outs to wrap this one up. Top of the order right now for the Beacons as we start the 4th. They sent 11 to the plate last inning. Hasey Pena have her second at-bat of the day. She tripled for her first collegiate hit in her first at-bat. She faces Michaela Porcaro, who entered to get the final out last inning. That is way up out of the zone for a ball. 2-0 count. Pena's dad played in the big leagues. Her brother currently playing pro baseball. O from Porcaro is also high, 3-0. Porcaro missed low. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk to start the fourth. Brittany Burkett will bat next. Her first at bat today. She's entered both games as defensive substitution. 4 for 20 today on the season, and she takes high, ball 1. Burkett, freshman from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, out west. Fouls it back, 1-1. Burkett pops it up towards short and over the top of the shortstop. They get her on the fielder's choice. Wow, well played by the shortstop, Chason. So Pena retired. She had to freeze and see whether that ball would be caught. Burkett out on the fielder's choice. 1 down. Ali Diuti bats for the first time today. Takes high. Diuti is 3 for 15 in her freshman season. She and her sister both played at Braintree High School. Call the strike, 1-1. Diuti, big swing, comes up empty, 1-2. One-two delivery. Rises for a ball, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Misses wide, ball 3. Popped up in the infield. Shortstop Chason takes it 2 down. You know, the best thing Salem State might be able to take out of this doubleheader is Michaela Procoro in the circle. She hadn't pitched all year. She's been the most effective pitcher so far today for Salem State. Kaylee Ruggiero has her first turn at the dish, 5 for 24 this season. First pitch is a strike. Ruggiero out of Southbury, Connecticut, Pomperaug Regional High School. One and one. Burkett pops it up, foul territory. And that is off the Beacon dugout, 1-2. Porcaro up high for a ball. Now the windmill in 2-2, way up and away. That wild pitch allows Burkett to move down to second. Still 15-1. That's ball 4. Burkett walks. So 2 on for Gigi Diuti.
The second baseman, number 1, Gigi Diuti.
Diuti has walked twice and reached on a bunt error in her 3 at-bats. She scored twice. Diuti watches that rise high. She's played second since the second inning. Replacing Danahy, slashes that foul. It's been the fun part in game 2 for the Beacons. They've been able to get so many of their depth players into this game. It's up high. Two ball, 2 strike count to Diuti. Piccaro's pitch also misses 3-2. Full count pitch. Popped third base and grabbed. Gracie Hogan pulls it in. That ends the inning and moves us to the top of the 5th, where the Beacons need 3 outs to wrap it up, leading 15-1. We go to the top of inning 5. UMass Boston looking to sweep a doubleheader with Salem State and do it in the minimum number of innings, 4.5 innings in each game. They won game 1, 12-4. They lead game 2, 15-1. Haley Catania trying to finish off a 5-inning complete game. She'll face 8-9-1. First pitch, Casey Kilgore chops it foul. Courtney Kilgore, the center fielder, grounded out to first in her first at-bat today. Kilgore takes a called ball low. Kilgore fouls it back. 1-2. In the air to right field, slicing, foul. Stays 1-2, nobody down in the 5th. Complete game in game 1 from Jess Greenspan. Haley Catania looking to do the job in game 2. Remember, Beacons back in action tomorrow in conference play at Rhode Island College. Salem State plays in conference tomorrow against Fitchburg State. Kilgore on the ground right side. Diuti stays with the hop, 1 down.
Number 19, Sydney Chason.
Brings up the shortstop, Sydney Chason, who singled one of the 3 hits against Catania today. There's a strike on the outside corner. Freshman Haley Catania closing in on her 6th complete game in her 13th start. She's up in the count 0-2 on Chason. Just off the plate, 1-2. One, two. On the ground at third. The throw across from Ruggiero's on the money. 2 away.
Number 8, Luciana Mastro-Mateo.
To the top of the order in Luciana Mastro-Mateo, who's grounded out to second and popped out to second. Swings over the top of that drop ball, strike one. An offering, popped up, foul and out of play. Beacons a strike away from wrapping up the doubleheader. Six in the first and 8 in the third. The big outburst for the Beacons to build this 15-1 lead. Pop foul. 12-4 win in game one, a 15-1 lead, and out away from wrapping up game two. Here it comes. On the ground, right side, past a diving Diuti. And the game will continue. A base hit for Mastro-Mateo. Moves it along to Gracie Hogan, who has struck out and grounded out. Hogan started this game in the circle, giving up the first 7 runs today. Next 8 were all charged to Del Vecchio in 2/3 of an inning. Michaela Picaro did not allow a run in an inning and a third. Pitch low from Catania to run the count to 2-0. Hogan has struck out and grounded out against Catania. In fact, the only batter to have consistent success is Picaro, who's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and the only RBI. Catania finds the strike zone. Windmill and fire. Grounder at third. Ruggiero knocks it down. Has no play. Back-to-back singles. And just like in game one, Salem State putting up a fight in the top of the 5th.
Number 7, Dominique Del Vecchio.
Got a whole lot more work still to do, but 2 aboard. And Del Vecchio 1 for 2, a single and a ground out. It's ball 1. Rises high, 2-0. There's a strike right over the heart of the plate. Two one, swung on and missed. 2-2. Catania strike away from putting this game to bed and sealing the deal in a doubleheader sweep. Here it comes, and it's out of the zone. Count runs full. Runners will get a head start. Delivery is high, ball 4. Catania issues the walk. It's the first walk she's allowed today. Bases are loaded.
The
That last out's always the hardest one to get. 2 singles and a walk for Salem State with 2 outs here in the 5th, still down 14. Casey Nolan bats next. Nolan is 0 for 2 in game 2, a fly out to center, and she's reached on a fielder's choice. There's a strike over the inner half of the plate. In the air, shallow center. That is up for Harlinski, and the ball game is over. Haley Catania pitches her 6th career complete game. The Beacons complete the sweep, winning 15-1. So UMass Boston goes to 20-12 on the season. Doubleheader sweep. Beg your pardon, 19-12 with doubleheader sweep. They have won 5 in a row, and Natalia Ardagna gets her 201st career win. Salem State falls to 11-21. The win goes to Haley Catania. She's now 6-5. The loss to Gracie Hogan. She's now 3-9. Looking ahead for the Beacons, they will play tomorrow, not Saturday, tomorrow at Rhode Island College due to weather. Back Tuesday against Castleton, and then Thursday they wrap things up with Southern Maine in conference play before traveling on the road to play Babson in the non-conference. Our crew today, how about doing it all? Producing and playing shortstop, Gigi Braga. Our entire remainder of the crew, Bree Colucci, Eileen Shee, statistician Steph Orensky. I'm Bill Spalding saying so long from UMass Boston, where once again your final score in the doubleheader, UMass Boston gets the sweep 12-4 and 15